My wife faked a pregnancy to stop me from filing for divorce. I found a receipt for fake belly bump props in the trash. I waited for the gender reveal party to pop the balloon. Inside wasn't pink or blue confetti, but a note. It's a lie. Original post. I, 35 male, found a receipt 3 weeks ago. Just sitting there in the bathroom trash, crumpled up, but not enough that I couldn't read it. Silicone pregnancy belly, 6-month, $89.99. Fake positive pregnancy test, 3-pack, $24.99. Express shipping, $15. Total, $129.98. I stared at that receipt for maybe 10 minutes, sitting on the edge of the bathtub, hands shaking, trying to make it make sense. Context: my wife, 33, and I have been married for 6 years. Last year, things got rough. Really rough. She quit her job to pursue her passion, still unclear what that is, started spending money we didn't have, and basically checked out of the marriage. I work in accounting, steady income, nothing crazy, but I'm responsible. She's not. 2 months ago, I told her I wanted a divorce. We'd been to counseling. It didn't work. She refused to get a job, refused to budget, refused to communicate. I was done. She cried, begged, promised to change. Same script, different day. Then a week later, she announced she was pregnant. I can't believe it, she said, waving a positive test at me. This changes everything, right? You can't leave now. We're having a baby. I felt nothing. Maybe that makes me terrible. But I've been so checked out emotionally that even pregnancy news felt like just another manipulation tactic. But I stayed. Because what kind of person leaves their pregnant wife? Society would crucify me. My family would disown me. Her family already thinks I'm a problem. She started showing fast. Like suspiciously fast. At 8 weeks, she had a noticeable bump. At 12 weeks, she looked 5 months along. I'm just bloated, she'd say when I questioned it. Every pregnancy is different. Stop being paranoid. The paranoia comment was rich coming from her. She refused to let me come to any doctor appointments. You'll just stress me out with your questions. The doctor says everything's fine. That should be enough. It wasn't enough. But I let it go. Played along. Started planning nursery colors. Listened to her baby name ideas. Watched her scroll through expensive strollers we couldn't afford. Then I found the receipt. And everything clicked into place. The too fast bump progression. The refusal to let me attend appointments. The way she'd wince and rub her belly dramatically whenever I mentioned divorce. The sudden pregnancy cravings for expensive takeout. It was all fake. My first instinct was to confront her immediately. But something stopped me. Maybe it was anger. Maybe it was the realization that if I confronted her, she'd just lie and gaslight me more. She'd probably accuse me of being abusive for not believing her. So I did something else. I started gathering evidence. I found a silicone belly hidden in a locked box in her closet. Found the fake pregnancy tests in her makeup drawer. Found the doctored ultrasound images she'd printed from Google. I also called the OB/GYN office she claimed to be going to. Pretended to be confirming an appointment. I'm sorry, sir, but we don't have anyone by that name in our system, the receptionist said. No appointments. No patient file. Nothing. She'd been lying about everything. The thing that really got me was how elaborate it was. She'd clearly planned this. Researched it. Spent money we didn't have on props. Created fake medical documents. All to trap me in a marriage I explicitly said I wanted out of. That's when I decided on my plan. She'd announced she wanted a gender reveal party. Big thing. Invite everyone, really cement this pregnancy in everyone's minds. Make it as real as possible so I couldn't back out. It'll be so fun, she said. Your parents, my parents, all our friends. We'll do the balloon pop thing with the confetti. I agreed. Helped her plan it. Picked the venue, my brother-in-law's backyard since he's got the space and it's free. Ordered decorations. Made food lists. And I ordered a custom balloon. Black balloon, 3 feet wide. And instead of pink or blue confetti inside, I had them include a single piece of paper with 4 words printed on it. It's a lot. The party's this Saturday. I've got a lawyer lined up for Monday. Divorce papers ready to file. Evidence folder compiled. My wife thinks she's about to have the perfect gender reveal moment that'll lock me in for at least 18 more years. Instead, she's about to have the exposure of her life. Am I being too harsh? Maybe, but she chose to fake an entire pregnancy rather than respect my decision to leave. She chose manipulation over honesty. Saturday's going to be interesting. Update 1. Holy hell. Okay, deep breath. The party was yesterday. I'm still processing. Let me walk you through it. About 40 people showed up, both sets of parents, her siblings and their families, my 2 brothers, friend from work, neighbors, everyone excited to find out if it's a boy or girl. My wife was in full performance mode, wearing a maternity dress, one hand constantly on her fake belly, doing that pregnant lady waddle. She'd really committed to the role. The food was set up, decorations everywhere, gender-neutral yellows and greens. Someone made a he or she banner. My mother-in-law brought a cake. Everyone was so happy, so genuinely happy for us. I felt sick, but I stuck to the plan. Around 3 p.m., my wife gathered everyone for the big reveal. She stood in the center of the backyard, holding the black balloon I'd ordered. I told her black was trendy, gender-neutral, makes the confetti pop more. She'd love the idea. "Thank you all for coming," she announced. "We're so excited to finally reveal whether we're having a boy or a girl." Cheers. Clapping. Someone started recording on their phone. "On the count of 3, I'll pop this balloon and we'll all find out together." More cheers. 1. My heart was pounding. 2. My wife was beaming. 3. She popped the balloon with a pin. No confetti. Just a single piece of paper floating down. She caught it. Read it. Her face went from excited to confused to pale white in about 3 seconds. "What is this?" she whispered. "What's it say?" someone called out. She just stood there, frozen. I walked over and took the paper from her hand, held it up for everyone to see. "It's a lie," I read out loud. "The pregnancy is fake. She's been wearing a silicone belly and using fake tests to manipulate me into staying in a marriage I asked to leave 2 months ago." Silence. Complete, total silence. Then chaos. "What are you talking about?" her mother shrieked. "This is ridiculous," her sister added. My wife just stood there shaking. "Show them," I said to her. "Show everyone the real belly. I don't have to. Show them, or I will." She ran, literally ran into my brother-in-law's house. Her mother and sister followed. I pulled out my phone, showed my parents the photos of the silicone belly, the fake tests, the receipt, the statement from the doctor's office confirming she'd never been a patient. My mother actually gasped. My father just shook his head. "Son," he said quietly, "we had no idea." I know. About 10 minutes later, my wife emerged with her mother and sister flanking her like bodyguards. The dress was different. She'd changed into regular clothes. "No, belly. This is abuse," her mother yelled, pointing at me. "You humiliated my daughter. Your daughter faked a pregnancy to trap me in a marriage. She was desperate. You were abandoning her." I told her I wanted a divorce. She chose to lie instead of accepting it. "Where's your compassion? Your understanding? She's your wife. She's a liar." My wife finally spoke. Her voice was small, weak. I just wanted you to stay. I love you. I didn't know what else to do. You could have respected my decision. You could have gotten counseling, gotten a job, actually try to fix things. Instead, you committed fraud." "Fraud." Her father stepped forward. "That's a strong word. That's the legal term for what she did. I've already got a lawyer. We're filing Monday." Her father's expression hardened. "We'll fight this." "With what?" "She has no income, no savings, and she just got caught faking a pregnancy in front of 40 witnesses. Good luck." The party cleared out fast after that. People grabbing their casseroles and leaving without making eye contact. A few of my friends patted my shoulder on their way out. One whispered, "Holy crap, dude." My parents stayed for a bit. My mom was crying. "I don't understand how someone could do that," she kept saying. "I don't either, Mom." My wife left with her family. Hasn't been back to the house since. She's been blowing on my phone, though. Hundreds of texts. Most of them are variations of "How could you?" and "You destroyed me." But here's the thing that really got me. Not once has she actually apologized for lying. Not once has she taken responsibility for the manipulation. Every message is about how I hurt her, how I embarrassed her, how I ruined everything. The cognitive dissonance is wild. Tomorrow I'm meeting with my lawyer. Divorce papers are ready. I'm also exploring whether what she did constitutes fraud in a legal sense. Faking pregnancy to coerce someone into staying in a marriage might have legal ramifications beyond just divorce. Some people are calling me cruel, saying I should have handled it privately. But here's the thing. She made the pregnancy public. She invited everyone to celebrate a lie. She wanted witnesses to lock me in. So I gave her witnesses, just not the kind she wanted. Update 2. It's been 2 weeks since the party. Things have escalated in ways I didn't expect. First, the legal side. My lawyer says while the fake pregnancy itself isn't technically illegal, no fraud charge is possible since I didn't suffer financial damages directly from the lie. It's definitely grounds for divorce and will factor heavily in any settlement discussions. The fact that I have documented evidence of the deception basically guarantees I won't be paying alimony. She has no case for spousal support when she's been unemployed by choice and caught in such a massive deception. Divorce papers were filed on Monday. She was served on Tuesday at her parents' house where she's been staying. That's when things got weird. Wednesday morning, I got a call from her doctor. Or I should say a doctor. Turns out she actually did go to a doctor after the party blew up and somehow convinced this doctor to write a letter stating she had a mental health crisis and the fake pregnancy was a result of extreme emotional distress caused by my threatening to abandon her. The letter got sent to my lawyer. My lawyer laughed. This actually helps us, she said. If she's claiming mental health issues as the cause, that's an admission that she did in fact fake the pregnancy. She can't walk that back now. The doctor thing felt like a Hail Mary. A desperate attempt to reframe the narrative from manipulative liar to poor sick woman who needs help. But it gets better. Thursday, her mother showed up at my workplace, walked right into the accounting firm, asked for me by name, and proceeded to cause a scene in the lobby. My daughter is having a breakdown because of you, she yelled while security escorted her out. She's on medication now. She can't eat, can't sleep. This is your fault. My boss called me into his office afterward. Want to explain what that was about? I did. Showed him the evidence, explained the situation. He was surprisingly understanding. That's insane, he said. Take whatever time you need for the legal stuff. Just keep the drama out of the office moving forward. I'll try, but I can't control her family. I know, but if they show up again, we're filing a restraining order for workplace harassment. Fair enough. Friday brought a new tactic, the mass text campaign. My wife's sister sent a group text to about 20 mutual friends. The message was long and detailed and completely fictional. According to her version of events, I'd been emotionally abusive throughout the marriage. I'd isolated my wife from her friends, false. I'd controlled all the finances, half false. I managed them because she refused to, and the fake pregnancy was a cry for help that I'd viciously exposed to humiliate her. About half the people on that list reached out to me directly asking for my side. I sent them the evidence. Most believed me. The other half, well, some people just want to believe the drama. But here's where it got actually concerning. Saturday morning, I found my tires slashed. All 4 of them. Happened overnight while my car was parked on the street. No cameras caught it. No witnesses. But I know it was either my wife or someone in her family. Filed a police report. Cop was sympathetic but realistic. Without proof, there's not much we can do. But document everything. If it escalates, you'll have a paper trail. Call my lawyer. She immediately drafted a cease and desist letter to my wife and her family. Basically said any further harassment, property damage, or contact outside of legal channels would result in restraining orders and potentially criminal charges. That seemed to quiet things down for a few days. Then yesterday, I got served with papers. My wife is trying to claim I owe her post-separation support because she's been financially dependent on me and is now suffering severe emotional damages from my public humiliation of her. Her lawyer, some guy her parents hired, is arguing that even though the pregnancy was fake, my method of revealing it was intentionally cruel and caused her reputational harm that entitles her to compensation. My lawyer's response was basically, bring it on. She faked a pregnancy, my lawyer explained. She committed an elaborate deception specifically to trap you in the marriage. The fact that you exposed that deception in a public way at an event SHE organized, by the way, doesn't suddenly make you liable for her embarrassment. She created this situation. She invited the witnesses. You just revealed the truth. We're heading to a preliminary hearing next week. My lawyer thinks the judge will throw out her claims pretty quickly, but we have to go through the motions. Meanwhile, my wife has apparently started therapy. According to a mutual friend who still talks to her, she's going 3 times a week and is on antidepressants. Part of me feels bad about that. Part of me wonders if it's just another performance. Because here's what really gets me. In all of this, all the letters, all the texts, all the lawyers and doctors and drama, she still hasn't actually apologized for faking the pregnancy. Not once. Every communication is about how I wronged her, how I'm cruel, how I'm heartless. Never I'm sorry I lied. Never I'm sorry I manipulated you. Never I understand why you're upset. It's all victim narrative. All the time. And her family enables it completely. Her mother called my mother last week and spent an hour trying to convince her that I'm an abuser. My mother, to her credit, shut that down hard. Your daughter faked a pregnancy, my mom told her. That's not normal behavior. That's manipulation. My son has every right to divorce her. According to my mom, her mother started crying and hung up. I'm exhausted. Emotionally, financially, mentally exhausted. But I'm also weirdly calm, because I know I did the right thing. Maybe not in the gentlest way, but in a way that was honest and final. She chose lies. I chose truth. And now we're both living with the consequences of those choices. Update 3. Final. The hearing was last week. Time to close this chapter. My wife's lawyer tried. He really did. Stood up there with a straight face and argued that I'd caused intentional infliction of emotional distress by exposing the fake pregnancy publicly. That I should pay for her therapy costs, her medical bills, and provide temporary support while she recovers from the trauma I caused. The judge was a woman in her late 50s. She'd read all the filings, looked at all the evidence, had that expression judges get when they've seen too much nonsense. She let the lawyer finish his argument. Then she turned to my wife. Ma'am, did you or did you not fake a pregnancy to prevent your husband from divorcing you? My wife, who'd been crying quietly throughout the whole proceeding, nodded. I need a verbal answer for the record. Yes, she whispered. But I was desperate. I don't need explanations right now. Did you purchase prosthetic pregnancy bellies and fake pregnancy tests? Yes. Did you lie to your husband about attending prenatal appointments? Yes, but did you organize a gender reveal party to publicly announce this fake pregnancy? My wife's lawyer put his hand on her arm. She went quiet. The judge looked at the documents in front of her for a long moment. Then she looked at me. Sir, did you at any point during this deception cause physical harm to your wife? No, Your Honor. Did you threaten her? No, Your Honor. Did you prevent her from leaving the relationship? No, Your Honor. I actually asked for a divorce. That's what started this whole thing. The judge nodded. Looked back at my wife's lawyer. Counselor, your client engaged in an elaborate deception designed to manipulate her husband into staying in a marriage he explicitly wanted to leave. She did this by faking a pregnancy, one of the most profound deceptions possible in a marriage. She then organized a public event to celebrate this fake pregnancy, presumably to create social pressure on her husband to stay. She paused. Your client created this situation. She invited the witnesses. She made it public. The fact that her husband exposed the truth in the same public forum doesn't constitute abuse or infliction of emotional distress. It's simply truth-telling, perhaps poorly timed from her perspective, but not illegal and not actionable. My wife's lawyer tried to interject. The judge held up her hand. I'm not finished. Furthermore, the evidence shows your client has been voluntarily unemployed for over a year. She has no medical condition preventing her from working. She has no children to care for. Her financial dependence on her husband is entirely self-created. Given the circumstances of this case, specifically the pregnancy fraud, I see absolutely no basis for awarding spousal support. She looked at my lawyer. I'm granting the divorce. No alimony. Assets will be divided equitably per state law, but given the short marriage length and the wife's deliberate unemployment, The husband will retain the majority of marital assets. Each party will be responsible for their own legal fees. She banged her gavel. We're adjourned. My wife broke down sobbing. Her mother, who'd been sitting in the back, rushed forward to comfort her. Shot me a look of pure hatred on her way past. Outside the courtroom, her lawyer actually approached me. "Look," he said, "I gotta tell you, I took this case as a favor to her father. But that was one of the most cut-and-dry rulings I've seen. Your wife, she needs help. Professional help. I tried to get her to go to counseling when we were together. She refused. Well, she's going now. Whether it'll actually help, or just teach her to be a better manipulator." He shrugged. "Not my problem anymore. Good luck." The divorce was finalized 3 days later. Fastest turnaround my lawyer had ever seen. Assets were divided. I kept the house, bought it before we got married, my retirement accounts, my car. She got her car, which I've been making payments on, stopped those immediately, and about $8,000 from a savings account that qualified as marital property since it was opened during the marriage. She also got to keep all the baby stuff she'd bought with money I'd given her for pregnancy expenses. Crib, stroller, car seat, all of it. My lawyer included a clause that I had no claim to any of it. Let her deal with selling it all, my lawyer said, or let it sit in her parents' garage as a reminder of her choices. Last I heard through the mutual friend grapevine, my ex-wife is living with her parents and working part-time at a retail store. The therapy is ongoing. She's apparently telling people she had a mental breakdown, and that's why she did what she did. Maybe that's true. Maybe she really did have some kind of psychological break. But honestly, I think she's just entitled. I think she's been enabled her whole life by parents who never held her accountable. I think she genuinely believed that faking a pregnancy was a reasonable solution to not wanting to lose her meal ticket. And when that blew up in her face, she played the victim. Because that's what she does. My life now is quieter. Weird quiet. For 6 years, I dealt with chaos and drama and manipulation. Now I come home to an empty house, and it's just peaceful. I'm not dating yet. Not ready. Trust issues are real. But I'm okay with that. Work is stable. Friends have been supportive. Family even more so. My mom still brings over casseroles twice a week like I'm incapable of feeding myself, but I appreciate it. Someone asked me last week if I regret how I handled the reveal, if I wish I'd done it differently. Honestly, no. Could I have confronted her privately? Sure. Could I have just filed for divorce and let her tell everyone whatever story she wanted? Absolutely. But she made the choice to go big, to involve everyone, to create this elaborate public deception. I just ended it in the same public way she created it. She wanted witnesses to her fake pregnancy. She got witnesses to the truth instead. Some people think that makes me cruel. Some people think it makes me a legend. Most people just think it's sad all around. And yeah, it is sad. It's sad that someone would go to such lengths to avoid reality. It's sad that a marriage ended because one person couldn't accept that it was over. It's sad that mental health issues, real or performed, led to such an elaborate lie. But mostly it's just done. I'm 35 years old, divorced, starting over. But at least I'm starting over with the truth. And that's worth something.